Nobody tells you this about becoming a millionaire. The money changes your life far less than it changes your relationships. Remember that. Because everything I am about to say is going to hit differently once you understand that one truth. You did it. 7 figures in your account. Not the cinematic kind, with the helicopter and the offshore accounts. Just real, quiet, clean money. More than your parents ever held in a lifetime of showing up. More than you ever imagined possible back when you were standing in that small kitchen eating off brand cereal straight from the bag because the table was buried under bills you could not bring yourself to open. You turned them face down so you would not have to see the numbers before heading to a job that barely paid enough in a city that never once looked your way. That was years ago. The timeline does not matter now. What matters is that you made it. And the first thing you feel is not what you expected. It is silence, not the silence of an empty room. The silence of a phone that stops ringing with bad news. No more holding your breath before opening your banking app. Now you open it, read the number slowly, close it, and walk to the kitchen to make coffee. That is your new morning. The silence where the panic used to live is the first real reward. Not the money itself, the absence of dread. But here is where it gets complicated. You go out with the same people you have known for years. You pick up the check without thinking. $30 used to mean rice for a week. Now it is nothing. You wave off the arguments, everyone laughs, and the night moves on. Except in the parking lot afterward, someone says something. A joke that sounds almost like a joke, but it carries a sharpness wrapped in a smile. You tell yourself you imagined it. You did not imagine it. People stop talking to you directly and start talking around you. A cousin mentions his broken car twice without ever asking for help. A friend brings up her debt in every conversation, not for advice, but waiting to see if you connect the dots yourself. You want to help. You know exactly what it feels like to lie awake because something broke and you cannot fix it. So you step in quietly. You cover what you can. You wait for it to feel warm. Instead, it feels complicated. Some people receive it, and the moment is real. Others go quiet in a way that is hard to explain. Because money between people who love each other is never just money. It is a record of who stands where. And once that record opens, it rarely fully closes. Pause on that for a second. You move into a new place, light, space, a kitchen you can actually cook in. Practical, yes, but also the first physical proof of how far you have traveled. The old neighborhood and the new one sit close on a map. In every other way that matters, they are a world apart. You visit your parents on a Sunday. Same kitchen, same fridge magnets, same light through the same window. You love this room. You always have. But now you catch yourself looking at the ceiling, thinking about the roof. You glance at the stove and calculate its age without meaning to. You used to just sit here. Now you audit everything silently, and you hate that you cannot stop. Your mother slides a newspaper clipping across the table. Someone local who built something. She is telling you she sees you in the only language she has. You fold it, put it in your pocket, and you stay for 2 full hours because you understand the staying is what she actually needs. Here is what nobody in the millionaire content ever mentioned. Being broke was not just your financial situation. It was your whole identity. It made you sharp, creative, fast at reading rooms. It forced you to connect with anyone because you could not afford to be selective. Now that pressure is gone, and you are supposed to simply feel grateful. You do feel grateful. But you also feel slightly untethered in a way that has no clean name. The money is recent. The struggle ran a decade deep. You know which one lives in your bones. So slowly you build something that holds both. You stop pretending one erases the other, and then work changes on you When you had nothing, showing up needed no motivation. The rent, the lights, the food, the threat built itself into every morning. Now the threat is gone, and discipline has to come from somewhere else. Surviving is instinct. Building meaning is a practice. Some days the work feels more alive than anything you have ever done. Other days you spin in place. Learning to manufacture drive without desperation is its own education. 6 months in, someone at a dinner says he has always wished he knew what it felt like to really fight for something. He means it as a compliment. But on the drive home, you think about how the years he is romanticizing were just your actual Tuesday. The struggle was not noble from the inside. It was exhausting. Those years gave you real things, though. A tolerance for discomfort. A clear sense of what actually matters. A relationship with money grounded in knowing exactly what it feels like to not have it. No dinner party comment can take those things away. A year in, an investment goes wrong. Not devastating, but enough to knock the wind out of you. You run the numbers again, looking for an answer that does not change. And here is what surprises you. The old version of you would have collapsed inward. Read it as proof that people like you were never supposed to keep things like this. Instead, you absorb the hit, study what went wrong, and move. Because you have built enough of a foundation that one mistake cannot erase the whole structure. You have margin now, enough to take a loss and treat it as data instead of a verdict. That is the whole game. 2 years in, someone younger sits across from you, behind on everything. Worn down in that way, only financial pressure creates. They want the clean blueprint. But the honest answer is messy. You got a lot of things right and a lot of things wrong, and the gap between them was thinner than you would like to admit. So you tell them what is actually true. Get precise about the floor number, not the dream, the minimum that makes the bad thing stop. Guard your energy. Learn the real difference between spending and investing, and understand that the hardest step is believing it is possible before there is any evidence that it is. They take notes. You remember that no one can carry another person through the section that changes them. 3 years in, and you are back in that kitchen on a Sunday. Your parents are older now. Everything in the room is the same. The magnets, the window, the light. Your father tells a story you have heard before, laughing at the exact moment he always laughs. It is completely ordinary. You have had remarkable Sundays since the money came. Sundays in other countries. Sundays on the water. This one is better than all of them. Because the people in this room loved you before your account held a number worth mentioning. They loved you in the off-brand cereal years, in the face-down bills years. In the years when you were just someone trying not to go under, you are a millionaire. The number is real, the work was real, and the cost of it, the relationships that quietly shifted, the identity you had to rebuild, the loneliness of moving through a world that no longer quite recognizes you, that was real too. You are not who you were before the money. You are also not who you feared you might become. You landed somewhere in between. Someone who still remembers the weight of what is now gone and does not take the lightness for granted. Some mornings you still open the app and read the balance slowly. Not with fear, not even with excitement anymore, just with a quiet recognition. You built this. You survived the years that shaped you into someone capable of building it. Every cheap meal, an unpaid bill, and sleepless night was part of the construction. You just could not see the blueprint while you were living inside it. You close the app. You go make your coffee. Outside, the city keeps moving the way it always has. Loud, indifferent, full of people somewhere in the middle of their own story, not yet knowing how it ends. If you're still in the face-down bills phase of life, keep going. And if you've already made it to the other side, what changed more for you, your finances or your relationships? I read every comment.